is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. Today we're going to talk about Lonzo Ball, a guy that a lot of people put him in the grave and start, shoveling on more dirt and making sure he was going to rest in peace. But he has emerged as a guy that's still showing that he can be a star, all-star caliber player in this league with his all-around play. We knew coming into the NBA that Lonzo Ball had a lot of hype, and his dad was really talking a lot, and he went to the Lakers and he played for Magic Johnson, who also hyped him up as this next great player. His name is going to be in the Raptors with the Laker greats, and LeVar Ball talking about big baller brand, and Lonzo is going to be on the Lakers and he's going to change the franchise. And then they trying to fire Luke Walton, and then they get LeBron James the next year, and now Lonzo got a lot of hype because his summer league MVP plus his dad plus Magic, and he plays for the Lakers, and next thing you know he's playing with LeBron, and then the expectations go up even higher. And Lonzo Ball, honestly and truthfully, didn't live up to the hype, but he also has shown a lot of more growth with the Pelicans. It seems like people are evaluating Lonzo for what he is, and people are accepting Lonzo for what he is. And Lonzo finally changed and reworked his jump shot and is going in at a career high. He's shooting 6.4 3-point attempts as the recording of this video, and he's knocking them down at a career high 35%. He's still giving you double-digit points. He's still giving you 5 to 6 assists, and he's still giving you the all-around rebounding numbers. And Lonzo Ball still show you that he impacts winning by doing multiple things to help you reassure that you can win that game. To just getting loose rebounds and making sure you're getting out in transition and keeping the ball moving, or just setting somebody up for a basket. Lonzo Ball make winning plays and winning decisions, and he has a high basketball IQ, and he has shown that throughout his whole entire career, whether it's in high school, whether it's in college, that has really made a name for himself as a winner. And even though he didn't win a championship in college, even though he didn't really do much with the Lakers when it comes to winning when he was there for those 2 years, Lonzo Ball still shows potential that he can still be a starter, in my personal opinion, just because he's showing you that he impacts the game in a variety of ways. But my biggest beef with Lonzo was the same thing about Ben Simmons. He has many opportunities to score the basketball, and he chooses not to. He was a guy that will get a screen and get all the way to the basket. And if he couldn't find somebody to pass it to, he either reset the offense, turned the ball over, or was even scared to make a shot or even a free throw. Because this is a guy that has shot 40% from the free throw line multiple times. So I can understand why he wouldn't want to go to the free throw line. But like I always say, you rather score 1 point than no points in the possession. Every possession, your job as an offensive player is to put the ball in the basket no matter how you do it. Whether it's through the free throw line, 3-point line, mid-range layup, dunk, it don't make a difference. Your job is to score the ball, and I'm surprised that Lonzo just now having that mentality that he just very confident right now, and I'm feeling him right now, because when he's open, he's letting that three ball fly. He's not even thinking about it, and when somebody kick it out to him, he's just getting in his motion, his rhythm, setting his feet and letting it fly. And I feel like Lonzo was a lot more consistent scoring wise when he was in college. He looked more for his shot. It was a little easier because he was a lot bigger and a lot more athletic than a lot of other point guards and a lot of players that guarded him in the NBA. They all either around the same size or just as strong, just as tall as him. So it's not that much of an advantage in the NBA like it would be in college or high school. But Lonzo was supposed to translate. This was a guy that was the number 2 pick. People looked at him as a franchise changer, a franchise savior, a guy that you can build an offense and a team around, and he can be one of the best players on that team as a facilitator, but also as a decision maker and a playmaker. And Lonzo Ball has shown to me growth in those areas too this season. And I know he hasn't made a dramatic improvement that really changed his career. He hasn't had that breakout season just yet, but I like the building blocks that he's taken to get to that point to where he can have that season where he puts his name back on the map and really play at a high level. It might be once Drew Holiday get traded, because we know Lonzo Ball can guard multiple positions. We know that Lonzo Ball is a good defender for what he is, and we do know eventually they're going to have to either pay Drew Holiday again, or they're going to give the starting spot to Lonzo, who has shown that he can be a capable playmaker. You have Ingram, him and Ingram has played together. He has Zion, a guy that can really cut to the basket, do backdoor cuts, get out in transition, and they can put on a show in New Orleans with Lonzo Ball as the primary point guard. And I really want to see how they really play together when Lonzo and Zion hook up today, and hopefully for the rest of the season. Can they build chemistry together? Can they get on the same page and be a 1-2 punch? I know that Lonzo still struggles with efficiency. He's shooting 39% from the field, which isn't really much of a surprise because, like I said, Lonzo Ball is a guy that mainly does the step back three, or the setup three when he's catching it off the penetration or he's wide open. That's mainly how he's getting his points, or LS is in transition. But a guy that he has been compared to, Jason Kidd, never really shot that well from the field, never was a great 3-point shooter in the beginning of his career, but he still could get rebounds, he still could get assists. And this is a guy that wasn't a great offensive scorer, a great offensive player, but he still led teams to the NBA Finals as one of the best players on their team, in the All NBA first team, second team, third team, All Star type of player. So Jason Kidd found ways to get the best out of his teammates, and he found ways to make them better and make their job a lot easier. But also he found ways to pick his spots, when to score and when to take shots, and that really made Jason Kidd a valuable player because he was always a step ahead of the defense, and he was always looking for the next guy that's in movement or trying to find a way to get open, and he would just hit that guy and really tear apart defenses with his patience and his high IQ. So I see a lot of that in Lonzo, especially in UCLA, a guy that really found ways to keep his teammates getting easy buckets and making their job a lot easier and taking a weight off their shoulder. And that's why I want to see Lonzo Ball back as a starter, getting major minutes and playing with a younger team, because we know Alvin Gentry is known for his offense, being able to speed up the pace, being able to spread out the floor, and having a guy like Lonzo that can really pick apart the defense will be very special for them, especially in transition, and especially if they can get up the floor and become one of the highest paced teams, which they are. That can really benefit Lonzo and Zion and Ingram to get them easy opportunities and good looks at the basket, which are high percentage shots at the end of the day. But my main gripe is Lonzo has to find other ways to score. Like I said, Jason Kidd a probe. He'll keep his dribble alive. He'll keep moving, so you don't know what he's going to do next. Next thing you know, he'll do a floater. Next thing you know, he's hitting a layup. And that's what I want to see Lonzo do, expand his offensive game and become more of a weapon in more variety of ways. Right now, he's basically a spot up 3-point shooter, and that's the main thing he does offensively if he's not getting out in transition. So I really want to see, can Lonzo become a better finisher? Can he continue to improve from the free throw line? His career high is 51% from the free throw line. That's unacceptable, especially for a point guard. That's something that he's definitely going to fix, and something that he definitely has to fix in the future if he really wants to become a star in his league, because you can put up the all-around numbers that he does, but people looking at the analytics and people looking at the shoot numbers, and Lonzo hasn't been able to really impact offenses because he can't really be a legitimate scorer. So people give him open shots. People leave him open. People don't even guard him, like we seen with Rondo in Boston. Rondo was so fixated on getting the rebounds and getting the assists that teams basically wouldn't even guard him because they knew Rondo didn't want to score. They knew that Rondo wasn't looking for his shot. So they'd rather just clog up the paint or stay with the shooters and make the offense a lot more predictable. And I think that that's something that Lonzo is going to have to learn, is he's going to have to figure out other ways to put the ball in the basket for himself. And I think that that's going to be the thing that takes his game to another level if he can really improve his free throw shooting, but also improve his offense awareness, knowing when to keep his dribble alive, knowing when to go to the paint, knowing when to get the layup up, and knowing when to get, that first step on his opponent and whoever defending them and turn that into a basket. And that has been my biggest problem, just like I said with Ben Simmons and Rondo, where they're basically on the court to pass, and that's it. You can't do that anymore. We done seen Ben Simmons when Joel Embiid out. They're a harder team to guard when Ben Simmons is out there attacking the paint, when he's putting pressure on the defense, when he's showing you that he's going to go to the basket. Now you have to react. Now you have to guard him. Now the defense collapses and it gives his teammates easier opportunities because you're becoming an offensive threat. And I haven't seen Lonzo Ball do that just yet outside of hitting spot up threes. But Jason Kidd always did that. He'd be at the 3-point line. He'd get to the paint. He'd keep dribbling and finding somebody cutting or finding somebody that's at the 3-point line or somebody at the mid range, but he also floated. He'll also get to the basket and lay it in. And I want to see Lonzo do that more. 39% from the field is just unacceptable, especially when you're 6'6" and you're taller than most point guards and you can shoot over most point guards. Even Jason Kidd had a little bit of a post game. So he still found ways to put pressure on the defense, and we're starting to see that with Ben Simmons. Every time Joel Embiid is out, you see a better version of Ben Simmons because he is more aggressive, and now they can play more of his style. And that's why they might have to let Drew Holiday go so Lonzo Ball can really get acclimated and really get out there and play his game, but it'll give him more confidence and more opportunities to go out there and get molded into the player that he needs to be. He's already a winning player. He's already an unselfish player. He already showing confidence in his three ball, but now I need to see him take his all-around offensive game to another level and get more moves, get more counters, and really build upon what he's doing right now. I'm not saying he ain't going to do it. He is going to do it, but he has shown improvements. He has shown development, especially right now in New Orleans, and I really want to see him continue that, and I really want to see him become more than just a spot up 3-point shooter and more than just a passer. I want to see him evolve and get more offensively engaged and be more aggressive, and still, like I said with Ben Simmons, without Joel Embiid, just be more, of a threat offensively. And he's showing that confidence in that three ball. He letting that thing fly, and I'm loving it. But at the same time, he has to continue that, but he has to also add to that so that way he can be a better player and put more pressure on the defense and really make them make decisions or make them pick their poison. And at the end of the day, like I said, offensively, you want a player that can really find ways to score or set his teammates up to score, and that makes you a more dynamic and harder to guard player. And I think Lonzo Ball has shown that, but he hasn't did it consistently, and I really want to see him take that to another level. But I still do believe in Lonzo. I still feel like he's going to be a star. I still think that he can be a winning point guard in the NBA. It's just about continuing to develop, continuing to evolve, and continuing to put in that work to get to that point and to that level. And I think he's going to get there. I don't know if he's going to be a 20-point scorer. I think that might be a little bit too far, but he can be a 16, 17-point scorer, give you 7 to 8 to 9 assists, and still give you those rebounding numbers and great defense. And then that'd be an all-star caliber player in the league. But plus, your teammates already love you if you're giving up the ball, but they'll love you even more if you give them easier and better opportunities, like we seen with a Ben Simmons and a Jason Kidd and a Rajon Rondo, guys that have led the NBA in assists or have become some of the better passers and better playmakers than Lonzo is currently right now. But they all did have that size and height advantage at that point in time when they was at their best, and they did either get to the finals or help win championships, and as Ben Simmons' case, become an all-star caliber player in the league, which Lonzo Ball hasn't reached yet. But let me know what you guys think about Lonzo Ball in the comment section below. Will he be a bust? Can he figure it out? Did you already give up on Lonzo? Do you think that he still has time? Do you think that he is what he is? Whatever you feel about Lonzo Ball, let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for the support. Thanks for buying the merchandise. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys feel and don't feel or if I'm just keeping it real about Lonzo Ball in the comment section below.